The Horror Review. Popcorn. Just the facts. Popcorn is the name of an American horror film that was released in cinemas in the February of 1991. The film was written by Mitchell Smith and Alan Ormsby and directed by Mark Harrier and an uncredited Alan Ormsby. Plot. A young film student begins having nightmares after hearing about a former film director who went on a killing spree before himself supposedly dying in a fire, and begins to suspect she may have some kind of personal connection to the madman. Meanwhile, her college is putting on a horror movie marathon night at a local cinema, where an unknown killer begins a new murder spree. Cast. The film stars Jill Schoelen in the lead role of Maggie Butler. Schoelen appeared in a number of films and TV movies, including The Best of Times with Nicolas Cage and Crispin Glover, before achieving horror icon status for her role as the suspicious stepdaughter Stephanie in the 1987 horror classic The Stepfather. Schoelen became a much-loved screen queen in the late 80s and early 90s in further horror films such as Cutting Class with a young Brad Pitt, Phantom of the Opera with a Nightmare on Elm Street star Robert Englund, The Curse 2, The Bite, and When a Stranger Calls Back, the TV movie sequel to the original 70s horror. Once romantically linked with Keanu Reeves and Brad Pitt, Schoelen has since retired from the industry. Popcorn also stars another genre fave in Dee Wallace Stone. Most famous as the mom in the 1982 Steven Spielberg classic E.T., Stone has appeared in many cult horror classics, including Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes, Joe Dante's much-loved werewolf flick The Howling, the original Critters, Stephen King's Cujo, and the Michael J. Fox starring Peter Jackson 90s comic horror classic The Frighteners. Also appearing in the film is acting legend Ray Walston, most famous as the alien opposite future Incredible Hulk Bill Bixby in the 60s comedy series My Favorite Martian, and to a different generation as the acerbic Judge Henry Bone in 90s drama series Picket Fences, a role which won him 2 Emmy Awards for Best Supporting Actor. Trivia. The film had a somewhat troubled production, with original director Alan Ormsby being replaced by Mark Harrier several weeks into filming, which also saw Jill Schoelen replacing the original lead actress Amy O'Neill. Popcorn was released on video in 1991 and on DVD in 2001. However, the film went out of print and was notoriously difficult to get hold of for many years, until it was released as a DVD and Blu-ray combo in 2017. Reaction. The film flopped at the box office and received mixed reviews. The difficulty of actually getting to see Popcorn contributed to a lack of awareness of the film, though over the years it began to generate a cult following, strong enough that the announcement of it finally coming to Blu-ray in the late 2010s created a buzz of excitement with horror fans, with Popcorn now becoming a firm favourite for many who had never seen it before. What I think. This early 90s tongue-in-cheek horror flick essentially serves up a postmodern slasher parody 5 years before Scream did much the same thing. Not that I would quite put Popcorn on the same level as Scream, but it's still a very entertaining, very fun, and very good-natured film. Popcorn also definitely benefits from having the lovely Jill Schoelen in the lead role, an actress I've always liked since seeing The Stepfather back in the late 80s, and of course she enlivened many other such films in this time period. Popcorn is just a good time, and I have no hesitation in awarding it a strong B+.